Madeleine. I hit the button by accident. I didn't mean to.
All right. Yeah. Focus.
I know my finger was on it, and then okay.
Oh, you'll see my boots on the live, maybe.
Hey, everybody. Okay, so
Can it go on?
sorry, everyone is going to be completely tuning into our crazy antics over here, and this is how Madeleine and I roll. Kind of funny.
Well, we're girls.
Anyway, here we go. Amalia Natalia of Karmic Kindness with Madeleine Parker, and we are coming to you on a different day at a different time because Madeleine's traveling and I'm going to be traveling, and we wanted to make sure that we got this moon forecast out to you with the upcoming full moon in Leo. And for those who are on my email list, I'm going to be sharing some wisdom from my trip to Egypt. So I'm going to be in Egypt for this full moon, which is super exciting. And just a personal aside is my birthday, which is in Aquarius. So if you think about full moons, you've got the sun in one sign and the moon in another sign, and they're facing each other. And the full moon is bright because of the light from the sun. And for my birthday in August, Leo, it was an exact conjunction to my sun. Ooh. And an opposition as well, because you have the sun and the moon at play. And so now
it's 4 degrees Leo.
My sun, well, the last moon, so which would be of this Aquarius Leo, was in it was 9 degrees Aquarius, and I'm 9 degrees Leo.
Oh, okay.
So it was an exact opposition and conjunction, if you want to look at it from the moon perspective and the sun perspective. So what's exciting about this is that we're now looking at the other part of that, and it's not quite exact, but it's 5 degrees. I'm 9 degrees, so pretty darn close. And I'm going to be in Egypt, where I feel a really deep soul connection. So it's not an accident that I'm going to be in a totally different location. Wow. And that something will be revealed, is what I feel like on this coming up Leo full moon. So for those of you who don't have your birthday on August 1st of last year at 9 degrees Leo, how will this affect you? So it's at 5 degrees, like Madeleine said. It's occurring on January 25th at 12:54 p.m. Eastern. And when you think about Leo is connected to the heart. It's very heart-centered. It has to do with confidence. You think about Leos and they tend to be big and bold. It also has to do with your personal power, how you express yourself, pride, that lion pride. So this full moon feels really, to me, very much has to do with your personal expression and how you express yourself without being self-centered, which Leos can do. I mean, even this, I started off talking about my moon, a little self-centered. I'm already tuning into that Leo energy. And it's also, to me, when I was tuning into the energetics of this, it's also an approach to how the material and the spiritual can coexist. How can we focus on our material desires while also being aware of our spiritual being and operate from that place? The moon is in opposition to Pluto and the MC. It's square Jupiter. So there's a lot of energy of I don't want to say tension, but there's a little tension, but it's more of like this push or this nudge for us to change and transform and to show ourselves in a totally new light while still being ourselves. So Madeleine, I'm so curious to hear what you have to say about this Leo new moon based on kind of the energies that are showing up for us coming off of, and we're recording this earlier, coming off of that Capricorn new moon on the 111 portal, which was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, that was a toughie, actually. That square to the nose was pretty tough. The Mars being in that sign, a lot of people made some radical decisions, radical changes, and there was drama around it. A lot of for me, it was a little less direct on my planet, so it was a little smoother. But you know, the new moons can be pretty tough because things have to go away in order for new things to come in. So and then this basically all the moons, all the lunations that are going to be in the fixed signs are very much about the Uranus Jupiter conjunction that's coming up here in April, but also very much at 0 degrees, because Pluto right now is at 0 degrees Aquarius. So, and the sun is basically this full moon conjoins that. So it really is a continuation of this theme of people becoming independent, following their true autonomy, becoming independent of the system, people coming together, because it's the sun is in Aquarius. So this is a collaborative full moon. This involves collaboration. The more you collaborate in your independent path, the more you're in alignment with the new changes of these, shall we say, moon lunations that are happening in the fixed signs. And the fixed signs are very interesting because we have Uranus there and we have Jupiter in the fixed sign of Taurus. So the next new moon is going to square that at 20 degrees. So we're building an energy right now with this full moon. Things are coming into, shall we say, materialization, like you mentioned, that are definitely creating stability towards our new direction in liberating our lives towards our independent paths and following our true callings, because of that Pluto being at 0 degrees Aquarius when this full moon occurs. So I'll share.
Do you want to show? I was going to say, let's take a peek at the chart, because I think it's always helpful to have a visual, at least for me, that goes along with what you're sharing.
Sure.
And just also so everyone knows, today we're doing this super zippy. So Madeline and I are going to go through very quickly.
We'll go through the signs super quick.
So that you guys, you may enjoy it. Our fast track.
Yeah. So we're still continuing with the theme of Mars now squaring the nodes. Mercury, as you can see, Mercury is squaring the nodes. So we're still changing our minds. We're still redirecting course direction. That's going to be happening a lot here in the next 6 months to year, really. And then we've got the sun on Pluto. Pluto conjunctions are considered 10-degree orbs. So this would be a Pluto sun conjoining. But we also have Venus trining Saturn. We still have this beautiful trine between Jupiter and trining Saturn and basically sextiling Venus. Now Venus pulls in on this, which is really nice, really nice. But we are going to be getting squares here, a Mars squaring Chiron. So there's going to be some triggering. This is going to be high intensity. Because of this conjunction, the sun Pluto, there's going to be an intensity. There's going to be people facing deep fears from the fears that are stopping you from going your independent path, fear of financial securities, your rigid thinking. We've got this Mars Mercury conjoining, which can be, shall we say, defensive energies around our thinking, and then Chiron is going to square it. So we're going to be changing our minds radically. But again, there is a reason. So when Chiron is in the picture, what's happening is that we were making decisions, safety or security or emotionally insecurities, not enabling us to make these decisions. So there's going to be a radical change of mind against our security. And this is a theme that's going on through all the moons, through all the new moon that we had in Capricorn, because we are in Vedic, this is Sagittarius. So what does that mean? So that would indicate rigid thinking. So we're breaking through into opening our minds. But you see, when there's a square like this, it's almost sort of not a choice. So we're going to get triggered. We might get into arguments. We might get into defensive energy, defensive about our opinions. And the best thing to do is to flow with this, because really we're all being redirected. We're course corrected again. This is happening to a flow. There's going to be an open flow to the right direction. So the more you let your insecurities, like sometimes when I work with people, they get very rigid about the changes that their charts are indicating. And there's just like it's sort of like a lack of belief in the potential, but we're really entering the new paradigm into the Aquarian age with this Pluto at 0 degrees. And there's fears here because Pluto can unearth the deep down transformative fears that are basically lacking faith, belief that there's no God or that we can't land on our own feet. But the more you have faith, the more you flow, the more you go independent, the more you collaborate, the more you open your mind and basically heal, because we're going to have Chiron on the nodes. And that really indicates our insecurities basically ending, because ultimately what happens, whatever comes up, you're going to have a transformation around those insecurities, and you're going to have more guts, you're going to have more confidence, you're going to have more belief, because Jupiter is in this as well. So there's sort of like, you have a choice. You have a choice to either have faith in the unseen, because when I pull cards on this, it's hard to know what is seen here. Have faith in the unseen. In other words, the transformations that are occurring we're entering a new earth, a new world, new possibilities completely that have not really existed before. So our minds are not capable of fully comprehending the new direction that we're being guided to. But with that Pluto sun, it's like our egos are, which is really us, rigid with the Mars, we have this rigidity that we think we need to have for survival. But the more flow you go, because these planets, Saturn in water, Neptune is there, which is the ruler of Pisces, and then we have the Jupiter and the Uranus, which are going to conjoin in April. So you're really being set up here, because the more you go independent, the more you open your mind and embrace a new perspective with an energy of shall we say trust in the flow, the better everything, you're going to be guided to your true path. So you have to let go of rigid ideas of what you think is right or wrong, and your insecurity based choices that you don't really realize, and this full moon will illuminate that. And again, it's these planets are squaring the nodes, so we're course correcting again. We're being tilted to our true destiny, which is our insecurity stopping. I have my MC on my Chiron in the ninth house, Pisces, which took me a long time in my life to have faith in my, because it's in Pisces, in my spiritual path as a worker. Chiron and MC. I was afraid. I was insecure. What if I'm wrong? What if I say the wrong things? But what happens is, all the times that I stuck my neck out and I did it, and I went against that, the more empowered I became, the more I discovered, no, this is right. This is right. There was a flow opened up for my life. So we're looking at that fear, those insecurities that have been preventing you from taking the independent path, from not believing in your sustainability. So now with these fixed planets coming in, and with that Uranian conjunction happening in April with Jupiter, we're going to get a shakeup in our lives that's actually finding the new solidity, the new fixed, stable level. So the more you trust now, the better you're going to fare down the way. The more you release, the more open-minded you are, the more you're willing to adapt, because the mutable energy of Pisces is adaptation. So the more you adapt and look and become creative, and not use your thinking based on old world, the old ways that created stability, because Saturn in the mutable sign of Pisces, we're really here to adapt to a new earth, the new world. So you want to think independence. You want to know your chart, because that shows you your path, your abundant path. You want to, and then with this Leo, what you desire is a really good indicator of what your true path is. And Leo is all about, like you were saying, creative self-expression. What is coming from your fire? What is coming from within? And that new moon that happened, what you were talking about, some kind of instigation comes in that now brings fruition. So the more you're led by your intuitive center, your fire, following your fire, the more you're going to be on the right path here, because it's a fixed energy. So you want to walk the path that creates stability in your life through these crazy changes. And the thing that's in your desire spectrum, or shall we say, center, is going to lead you to your stable path in this, shall we say, volatile energy we're going to be having in these eclipses further down the line, which are happening at 20 degrees. Uranus and Jupiter are conjoining at 21 degrees. The eclipse in April is happening at 20 degrees. So, so to prepare for that, have faith, walk your desired path, be ready to adjust, adapt, be open-minded. But we're going to see a lot of changes in our lives when these fixed signs are being rattled around. Does that make sense? I can't hear you. Are you hearing me okay?
Yeah. So yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. So one thing I feel like it might be coming up for people is the question of, okay, I hear you go with the flow. I hear you have faith, trust, all of that. But then how on earth do I do that? And I just wanted to offer a couple of little, just small little mindset tweaks. Like one is, do you believe that everything in life is happening for you, not to you, but for you? If you do believe that, or you're willing to play with that energy, then all these things that are happening that might be uncomfortable, when you think, okay, this is happening for me, I don't see the full picture yet, but I know that this is something that's for my benefit. It makes it, at least for me, a little bit easier. Still doesn't feel like awesome, but it's like, okay, it kind of pulls me along a little bit. The other part of that too is in those moments when you're in a challenge or something is coming up that you're feeling like is overwhelming, or your foundations are being rattled, like you're going in a direction that you didn't expect. Breath is always a great place. Like just take a deep breath and remind yourself that you're safe, that everything is happening for you, and that this is a brand new adventure that's getting ready to unfold before you.
Yes.
And if you think about the things that you may have done in your life that have been challenging or scary, I would say most of the time they turn out even better than you could have expected. It's when you're pushing yourself outside your comfort zone is when the magic can really happen. So keeping that in mind while in some of these periods of time where, like you said, Madeline, you'll need to be flexible and adapt.
Yeah.
That I think might help some people navigate that, because I know when people say to me, like, just go with the flow, for a long time, I'm like, well, what the F does that mean? Like, how?
Walk through the open door. Look for the open door. Look for where it's a yes. And it may not be where you expect it. So watch this. We've got this squaring Jupiter. And Jupiter is now at the point is where the eclipses were in Taurus in November. So now we've got this square to Jupiter and square to the sun. So this whole full moon is squaring Jupiter. And usually when you get Jupiter squares, it's empowering. It gives you confidence. It makes you braver. You have faith. You know, it's a benefic planet. So, you know, and Leo is, again, a very leader energy. Leo means leader. So it really is Jupiter stepping in and saying, feel the force of leadership, because in this new age, we got to change the world, because there's a lot of things that have to change in the world. So, you know, it's okay. Change the world. Get out there and change the world. We all have a part to play in this new earth, or we wouldn't be here. So with Jupiter there, it's saying, let's do this. Let's change the world. And what we're here to do is to make the world better. So, you know,
let's jump into the signs and see how each sign is going to make the world better.
Yeah, let's take a look. Well, let's start with Aries, of course. So Leo hits your 5th house. And Aries, again, this is creativity, projects of creativity, very, very passionate creative drive. It's going to fire you up. You're excited about it. Go for it. Don't hold back. Find your inspiration, Aries. And Aries might be a little bit, because they have Capricorn over their 10th house. So they might be a little bit status concerned or image concerned. but it's squaring that with Chiron there in your first house. So you kind of got to get over a little bit of what you normally would do, what people would think about you, what your normal career would do. Jump into some fearless creative endeavor. Go with your fire on that. But you know what? The full moon usually brings it to you. So, but you're going to jump in and sort of fire it up even more with that over your fifth house. The fifth house is a fire house. Leo over your fire house is double power there, double fire creative power. So inspiring time for, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, you totally, this flower is completely in alignment with what you were saying. It's the night blooming Sirius. It activates fearlessness. And the message is take the leap. So Aries, I don't know what else you need. This is it right here.
Yep.
Take the leap.
Not fear.
Be fearless.
Yep. And you know, what's interesting, the sun card comes out on my side, which is actually very similar to the card you just pulled.
It looks very similar.
Yeah,
I mean, this is
it was. It was. It's kind of crazy that I showed that up. And what does that mean? That sun card is Leo, which is is the sun. Shine.
Yeah.
All right. Second house would be Taurus. Taurus, you guys have this hitting your well, you're going to have Jupiter and Uranus, so you guys are really in for a shakeup in your lives. But again, it's a shake up in the sense that, you know, some people's lives may in this Jupiter Uranus conjunction happening in April could be catastrophic. But again, if it is, it's because it's not stable. Whatever, it's going to shake down that which is not stable. So for you guys, you're going to have Leo over your fourth house. So something creative involving your home. Maybe it's you guys are going to improve the ecosystem, the nature, because the fourth house can be gardens, and Taurans are good at gardening. So some sort of creative new earth solutions coming to fruition around your property, real estate, a place that you really love, and it's going to position you for your new path, for your soul contract. We're all looking at soul contracts right now. So you're going to, maybe your living situation gets shaken up here, but then you find your true passionate, maybe you initiated a moving situation 6 months ago, and now the place that you really love, that you really want, which is going to situate you to where you're supposed to be situated for the new shakeups that are coming. So there we go. Let's see what you get.
Okay, Taurus. This looks very much like the last card, but it's not. This is a saguaro cactus flower. And this, again, we have a theme of fearlessness. This activates fearless independence.
Yes.
And supports effortless problem solving. So there's an energy here, I think, for, you know, Taurus, they can be a bit stubborn. And so they can get themselves stuck because they're not willing to break out of what they feel is the best thing. And so this may help them see different pathways they didn't see before and allow them to literally, quote unquote, move with that fourth house, or maybe just like move in terms of their mindset or their perspective in order to open a door for a new location, a new perspective, whatever that may be.
And also maybe change your living situation, redesign it, make it more creatively functional for you, more feng shui, more the place you really want to live. And then I just pulled the Hangman and the Five of Pentacles. So let go of your fears around finances, you know, or something will happen that lets go of your fears around finances. And so that's great. Yeah.
All right. Gemini,
you guys have it in Leo in your third house. So great, that third house, because that's so new beginnings, people around you, I can think of a Gemini who's going through that, something passionate and exciting happens if you're running a small business. A lot of Geminis are salespeople. They're good at communication. A lot of them have planets in their third house. A lot of Geminis I know have planets in their third house, which is interesting because the third house represents Gemini, which is about communication, selling. So maybe something sells that you've been trying to sell. You're selling things and it sells. Like you're running an art gallery, you're selling more work. Things go forward. By the way, all the planets are direct now. So a lot of block situations are going forward now on these full moons. You're going to see the results. Again, this is at the same degree of that eclipse in Taurus. So like that Chiron square is getting everybody over that fear. That's what the cards keep saying here. letting go of those fears, fearlessness. And when you do that, you resonate at a much higher frequency. So something really more abundant can come through. So inspiring fruitions results in a business or new people around you that are supposed to be around you. Or you have to take small business trips and in other areas, or small, short distance trips that take you to situations that expand your life in some way creatively. But again, you're going to have the courage to make these changes. Go ahead.
All right.
Quick.
One of my most favorite flowers, the bird of paradise. And the bird of paradise, I love this. It activates connection. And so if you think about this moon, there's a lot of connective energy here. And the message is quiet your mind. Geminis can get lost in the cycle of their mind, back and forth, back and forth. So I feel like this energy is really going to be supportive for you to connect to what is truly connected to your heart with that Leo heart forward energy, and then be able to take action from there. Something will be lit up for you in this light of the full moon. And I don't know, I feel like something dynamic will come out of it. I mean, when you look at this flower, and very powerful. So yeah.
I just got the Judgment card on it, which is all about coming out of the dark box of your mind, limited thinking. And the third house is your mind, communication, thoughts, thinking. So maybe Gemini really break through some sort of limited perception that enables them to connect to something more fire and take them forward. Their fears are, getting confidence to do that. All righty.
Cancer,
yay-hoo, you guys have this happening in your second house of financing. I love it. Good money for you guys, very auspicious. And again, it might go against your insecurities around financial stability, that it might not be something that you ever would have conceptually gone that way. Gosh, I see a big hawk outside. It is crazy big bird sitting on this building. Weird, I know. Wow. Amazing. It is gigantic. So that's a really good sign.
especially with you having Cancer at your ascendant, right?
Yes, because Saturn is trining Cancer's ascendant. And so it's a really good sign. So immutable. Remember, we're changing our minds about our directions in life. So we're course correcting. We're seeing new paths open up here for finances that are very inspiring. So I'm trying to think of what I started on that new moon 6 months ago. I'm going to have to go back and look at my emails and my photos and see what it was that I initiated back then. What month was it? Was that August, the new moon? Yeah, it would have been in August.
Yeah. Well,
July.
No, July.
Mid-July, or like second week of July or first week of July.
Yeah.
So we're looking at really fabulous things for Cancer here with this new moon in your finances that are inspiring, exciting, and limited belief going away around what you previously would have thought was possible. And also, this is going to bring you more stability. All of these, the planets here in these fixed signs, in these new things, are towards a new stable future. Go ahead.
So wow, we're changing it up here with the hollyhock for Cancer. And when I think of Cancer, I think of just, it's a softer energy, that Cancerian energy. This feels soft and feminine. And this magnifies fearless love. So to me, what is happening for Cancerians is that, maybe they've been holding themselves back in some way. Maybe they have had this love, like I'm going to use you, Madeline, if you don't mind, as an example.
Sure.
You've had this love for astrology, this love for spirituality, and you've been tiptoeing into it for a while. You've actually kind of, you have embraced more of it. Like, I feel like you're in up to your waist now, but what's showing up for you, especially what we were talking about right before we came on live, is that things are opening up in a way that you would not have expected. I mean, the fact that you're still in London when you were planning on leaving, and that whole thing, it worked out the way it did. This to me is a reminder of, like, have a fearless love or a passion. Okay. We're also talking Leo. It's that passion for what it is that you do love, and embrace that, go with that, run with that. And I feel like, at least for Cancer, you will be financially supported. It will work out for you.
Yep. 10 of
Pentacles. So yeah, feels really good for for Cancer.
Yes. All right. Next we have Leo. Okay. Well, let's take a look. Your first house. I mean, you know, that's you, your body. You're going to change your look. A lot of times full moons on your first house, you change the way you look. You do a radical shift in your looks. Confident. You're going to have, you know, this Jupiter. Where is Jupiter transiting Taurus? Let me just do this here. I don't need to go into all of that because, you know, I try not to get distracted on it all, but because we don't have time. But your body and your health, because you got a lot of planets in your sixth house. So, and career, sextiling. I think it's really good for Leo career. Confidence comes in, willingness to follow that fire, pride in yourself, believing in yourself, putting on a new look, feeling more like coming out in the world, sticking your neck out more and sitting on that rock and letting that hair, you know, Leos have a lot of hair. They have really good head of hair. I always know a Leo by their hair, jealous of their hair. So it's kind of like, let the sun shine like the sun, Leos. And your hair is going to glow in the sunlight. So sit on that rock and glow like a lion and be proud of yourselves. And I think things will be accomplished from that Leo new moon where you now accomplish something that makes you very proud. And again, this is inspiring. And I think you guys step forward and become the leaders that you're here to be, because Aquarius is opposite. And, you know, you're here to galvanize and lead us into the new earth. Leo and Aquarius, absolutely. Go ahead.
That feels really nice. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So we have the white magnolia, and this activates spiritual fulfillment, and the message is you are divine.
There you go.
I feel like that was a big nod to what you just said. And as a Leo sun, I also feel like the insecurities that, you know, Leos will act like we're all got it and what all those things. I also have Mars up there. So it, like, for me, it's like there's a lot of strength and Mercury. So
Wow.
you know, there's a lot happening up there for me, a stellium, if you will. But
they say Leos are either quietest person in the room or the loudest person in the room.
And that's the interesting thing, is that I can be both. I can definitely be both. And what I feel like this card is reminding Leos of, for those times when we may go into our insecurities and we don't feel like we can speak, or we don't want to, like you were talking about before too, like you don't want to be wrong. This is a reminder that, like, it's okay. You are a divine being. You can't make a mistake. Everything is fine. You know, be who you are meant to be.
Yes.
So I really love this.
Dream come true. 9 of Cups, fulfillment. Love it.
Love it, love it, love it too.
Yeah.
All right.
And just to throw in, Pluto in Aquarius is a much lighter energy. I mean, I can feel it already because I have my Venus there at Pluto, and I'm like, get off my Venus now. Really getting there. I'm like, whoa! I feel like this. It's like that feeling of upness. We're all going to be feeling that. That's across the board, okay? Because we went through a lot of trouble with that Capricorn Pluto. We all worked hard. We had to change. We had to clear karma. We had to do a lot of work on ourselves. Right. And now we get some fun. Okay, guys. Leo full moon, fun. Don't forget the word fun in Leo, because that's part of Leo. Okay. Yay.
That's so true. That is so true.
Yeah. Sorry not to leave out that part. Okay. Now let's go into Virgo. You Virgos, you worker bee busy people. You have Leo in your 12th house. You may get to travel, long distance travel, and passionately dreams. This is a passionate dream come true energy because it's fiery, coming from our center selves. This is something that you would have initiated in July and mid to end July there, or wherever we were talking. I'm confused now. I think it would have been like the third week of July.
I'm going to look it up so that we are accurate on that.
Yeah. And
keep talking.
Yeah, or actually maybe the middle of July. But anyway, you tell us. Yeah. So Virgo are having Leo in their 12th house. So they're really clearing some sort of mega karmic resolve, some kind of a fear-based resistance they had. That karma was holding them back. Control. Karma can often be played out as control because you don't trust God. You feel like you got to do it. That this full moon in your 12th house is like releasing of that perpetual state of control. It's kind of going with the fun, going with the flow, but going with the fun, doing what you want, jumping in, doing it, not worrying about anything, having fun, ego getting out of the way, which always wants to control and win or you know, the ego is really in our way so much, and this is kind of breaking out because Leo is the sun. Leo is ego as well, so it's kind of like letting the ego part of the Leo out and stepping into the fire part of the Leo energy of fun and expansion. Go ahead. Let's see what card.
Okay, so just so everyone knows, the new moon was in July 17th for Cancer. Okay, so here we go. For Virgo, we have this peony, and this is another really feminine card. I feel like Virgo is another one of those feminine signs, even though it can be a bit of a hard worker sort of energy.
They're very busy.
They are very busy. My daughter is a Virgo, and she's always doing something, even if it's something for herself or in her space. This, though, does remind us to be in gratitude and appreciation, to kind of see where we've come from. And I feel like that is very much a 12th house energy. It's really recognizing the gifts that we have, recognizing the lessons that we've learned, appreciation, contentment. There is an opportunity to magnetize abundance and attract things to us. I know my daughter will be happy to hear that. So for it's like, if you think about going around the circle of all the signs, and we're at the 12th house, we're kind of coming back to the start. It's okay, you have all this wisdom, all these bits of knowledge that you've learned, and now you can carry that forward into this bright, abundant future that lies before you. So we've got peony for Virgo.
Great. Yeah, looks good. Ace of Swords, clarity. All right, let's get to Libra. Libra have Leo over their 11th house, which is lucky gains. This is great for Libra. Some kind of manifesting lucky gain, win. You could win a competition. You could suddenly, like, let's say you entered a competition, a poetry competition, you win, you find out you win, you meet or somebody you met back then on that July 17th, and you met a new tribe member because that new moon would have hit in there. So you met someone new. Now the purpose of meeting that person and the co-collaborative potential that there is with that person opens up and becomes offered, and it goes forward. And again, this is something that inspires and excites you. So it's like winning. It's a win. I move really fast. Am I moving too fast?
Yeah. I know. I was like, oh, she's done. Okay.
I'm like, are we going to get to all 12 signs? We're going to get there pretty fast. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right. We got to zoom. All right. So
no, I hope I'm not going too fast, but go ahead. Yeah.
For Libra, we have the Hong Kong orchid, and this activates self-acceptance, and the message is express yourself, which again, totally ties in with the energy of this moon. And I think for Libras, that's a big piece. Like, you're not looking outside yourself. You're not looking to other people. You're really connecting in with you. You're expressing from your own sense of value and worth and shining your light in the world.
Yeah. And so something goes forward on this full moon, creative project that you're really inspired about that involves collaboration. And it's the house of Aquarius. So thumbs up on that.
Here we go.
All right. So let's now go to Scorpio. You guys have Leo over your 10th house. Fantastic. Promotional work. You may have applied for a job 6 months ago. Nothing seemed to work. Again, we had all those blocked planets. Everything seemed very blocked for everybody for a while. Everybody was a little bit worried about everything. But now it's like, yay, comes through, a job promotion, a new job. Recognition, status. You could get married, you could have been engaged, you get married now, your status changes, upgrade in your status symbol. And again, this comes from the right motivation. This is inspiring for you. There you go.
All right, let's see if I can put this in place where people can see it, because I really want you to take this flower in. This is the banana yucca. And what I love about this flower for Scorpios is that Scorpios can tend to hide. They don't always want to show themselves fully. And they also don't always recognize their own talents, their own potential, their own gifts that they have to share with the world. They get caught up in their going into their shadows. And I know this from my own experience. This activates that hidden potential. It reminds you that you have these talents. It helps you uncover those hidden talents. Yes, please. So you can actually move forward and express yourself again, be able to be in a place where you can really fully, truly see yourself, and then go out into the world and express who you are and shine your light, share your gifts with other people. So
Isn't that
banana,
so
yeah.
solar? That card is the Sun, Leo, solar. So it's like Scorpios are now having belief in their career, belief in themselves and their work, pride, Sun, solar. That's the Leo energy right there.
Right there, right there.
All right. And that's you, isn't it? Your sun or your ascendant. What are you,
My
right?
ascendant. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
We shall see how it all plays out.
You're
All
going to
right.
really believe in your own individual voice now. You know, Leo over your 10th house, you believe in your individualness and creative self-expression around your career, which empowers you in your career. And that's the yellow solar plexus is yellow, and it's belief in yourself. All right, Sagittarius, you guys have it over your 9th house. So travel, of course, is a potential thing that opens up for you. And I'm Sagittarius sun, so that's happening for me as well. And that incorporates work because we are involving Saturn in all of this. So, and your soul contract. So also new beliefs, new opinions, new something that you initiated in July opens up for you, which you may have doubted because the things were blocked, and now you believe in it and it goes forward and you can travel. That kind of happened to me, didn't it? And what else? There I would say that fruition of a belief that you hoped was right but you weren't sure, now you know is true and right and goes forward. And like, for instance, maybe you had insecurities around your work and taking that individual path. Well, now you see the light, you know, no, I can lead here. This is an area of leadership I can step into and shine and feel confident, all of that.
Well, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this card for Sag. We have a strawberry blossom.
Wow.
It activates optimism, and the message is expect the best. And that pretty much to me sums up in 4 words what you just said about Sag.
Yeah, interesting. I love how these.
I don't.
Yeah. What more to say?
I know. I'm like, there you go. All right, strawberry blossom for Sag. And it's a really. I feel like this was like coming back to some of the cards from earlier too. Like it has that like bright, shiny, bam kind of Leo vibe to it. So
yeah, because remember, Jupiter is your ruling planet, and Jupiter is also the ruler of Pisces. So Jupiter and Saturn are really under this sort of Sagittarian influence right now, which is very spiritual. And the 9th house is very spiritual. So some sort of confidence and belief to lead spiritually.
coming up, babies.
Yep.
That's it.
Woohoo.
All right.
All right,
Capricorn.
Cappy Wappies, Capricorns. Wow, you got a lot of planets in your first house. A lot of good things for Capricorn, really. I mean, Capricorns, you're going to have Pluto out of your first house. It is going to dip back in next year, but I wouldn't worry about that. But now we're really looking at you being ready. Your karma's cleared. You're stepping into a creative power anyway, because you have Taurus over your 5th house. And Leo is over your 8th. So it is really the fruition of I know a Capricorn rising who finally stepped into a creative pursuit, and now their fears about financing is over. Something comes to fruition. You could get an inheritance. You could have some sort of financial windfall or financial support coming from an outside source, or confidence about your financial situations, or something that you didn't motivate for money, but you did from the heart in that July time, which didn't work out because things were blocked, now comes forward. You now, it's possible it can be an investment. If you've been trying to refinance your house, you can it goes through. An investment that you may have made comes through. But really we're breaking through some sort of fearless fear, some sort of deep fear, or you become illuminated to a very deep fear and you release it. And now you're much more buoyant energy and you are not afraid of debt. Or it could end a debt too. Go ahead.
All right. We have the pomegranate flower for Capricorn, and this magnifies creative energy and self-expression.
Wow. So
It also activates strengths. And I feel like Capricorns are fairly strong. They keep going, they keep pushing, but this is going to give you, to me, it feels like strength from a different place, strength from a place of your own innate knowing of your own power. You know, this reminds me a lot of like your solar plexus and your sacral chakras, creating from a self-empowered place versus a place of fear.
yes, because Capricorn are mega controllers. Capricorn is sort of there's a tendency for control, right? So maybe they're just letting go of control in this full moon because things look okay. They can not be all he.
And I want to just say too, with Capricorns, it's like, just remember to pause and breathe. I feel like they're constantly like feeling like they have to do something, and sometimes not doing is what you need to be doing. So just pause.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, not doing is always good.
All right, Aquarius.
Okay, you guys, your lives are going to be rattled up here because you've got you're the fixed signs in the first house, and you're going to have Pluto entering your first house. So your sun in the first house, the moon is in your seventh. So we're looking at new relationships. If you met somebody in July and it didn't turn into anything, now maybe the relationship comes forward, a romantic or contracted partnership. Could be, other parts of your chart you move, so you have a new contracted relationship with a new landlord, or you buy a property and you have a real estate agent come through, or a business partnership. But some kind of a contracted relationship opens up that's exciting, that's inspiring. That isn't necessarily, it's outside of the box because of that square to Chiron. Maybe you had fears around this person, you break through them. What else can I quickly say? Basically you are liberated because Aquarius is the liberated energy of the sun there. So you're sort of liberating yourself, breaking through a sort of a paradigm or a rigid thinking that you wouldn't allow yourself to, or that wouldn't necessarily be the person that you would have gone with. So you're breaking through your limited thinking around a relationship, and it's going forward now. And it could be a work contracted relationship or a marriage partnership. Go ahead.
All right. The
Two.
date palm flower. Yes. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. The date palm flower. Here we got your little relationship dynamic right here. The message is shift the paradigm. And what I find interesting about this is, just thinking about and feeling into that Aquarian energy, that's really what you're here to do, is shift the paradigm. Yeah. And there's a balance between linear and non-linear thinking. Again, we have Aquarius, it's like that higher mind. So getting out of your way, in a sense, within your mind, allowing yourself to open up to the possibilities for a new type of relationship that is going to propel you forward in some way, that is going to allow you to tap into that creative energy. Maybe it's a muse type energy. Maybe it's someone or something that inspires you to do something that's outside the box. I mean, that's Aquarian energy right there. Yep. So the date palm flower, shift the paradigm. Go get it.
And, Aquarius is kind of the eccentric, and it's kind of the oddball, and it's, not normal. So, throwing that in.
Yeah, true. All right. We're rounding it out here.
Where are we? Pisces. Leo covers your 6th house. Interesting. Moon in your 6th house, Leo. So we're really, it's possible the health issue pops in, or this is also a work house. So again, a job comes through, a work situation opens up, a way that you're going to be of service. The 6th house is of high service, but it's a way that inspires you. It's against your paradigm thinking. It's not what you would have necessarily chosen, but you can be a leader here. Again, Leo, you lead here. There's a lot of confidence in this full moon. And you become very much, shall we say, a go-getter, stick your neck out, lead in some way. And then if it is a health issue, you take a lot of initiative, a lot of confidence, a lot of bravery to make some kind of change in your health routine, your day-to-day living, or a work opportunity shows up that changes your day-to-day working way you work, and you bust through. It can also sometimes be if you have a very stressful life, you now change some way of your work so that it's not stressful. You're liberated from a trap situation in your work. All right.
Okay, so we have the Fire Star Orchid, and we've got a theme here with the colors showing
Yeah.
itself. And this card, it's just hilarious to me. So we have fearless creativity, wild creativity, thinking outside the box. So there's a little bit of that Aquarian energy, which makes a little bit of sense based on the fact that Aquarius and Leo are the you know, kind of the partners.
Polarity. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I was like, what is that P word? Thank you. And it's seeing beyond what you've seen thus far. So Pisces, I don't know. It just strikes me that it's like, okay, well, I've seen this and that's about all I've seen. So I feel like that's all there is, but really there's so much more that's available. And you can, if you can really just lean into the day-to-day aspects of your life and see where you might be able to expand yourself, where you might be able to have a little more creativity, and maybe how you cook for yourself, or how you start your day, or you know, maybe it has to do with you know, maybe exercise or whatever it is for you that's going to do that's going to be supportive to your health, your well-being, to your day-to-day activities. I think it's going to come from a more creative place, and be open to the possibilities, be open to things you may not have done or tried before, because now would be the time to give those a go.
Yeah, you know, that card really gives off an energy of belief, of confidence. So it's almost like you have more confidence to step out there and do your creative voice, because most Pisces are artists and creative. So Pisces can have kind of low self-esteem around their abilities and their gifts. So this is a big upgrade from that, you know.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Basically, in a nutshell, I'm so proud of us. We did it. Yay, yay, Madeleine, yay, me. You know, this is going to be a really beautiful, I think all the moon cycles are beautiful, whether they feel challenging or not, but this one in particular, go out there and express yourself, be fearless, and, you know, let your hair down a little bit, tap into that playful side. But be aware there may be some emotions, some fired up emotions that come up, and there may be some little things that you need to adapt to, like Madeleine talked about at the beginning of the reading.
That Mars square Chiron isn't going to be easy. People are going to have a hard time with that. That's not going to be easy, just so you know.
It's all happening for you.
It is.
And so if you can breathe through it and be aware of that and keep that in your mind, and, you know, it might push you to do something a little more outside the box for you, a little more creative. And that may be a huge opening for you, a huge healing for you as well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It will heal. That is the point, is to bust through some insecurity or low self-esteem issue. So it's going to come up. But then on the other side of that, you're kind of cleared of that, so that you can become a leader, because Leo is the energy of the leader. So
we all have it. We all have that in us in some way.
That change that has to happen in order for us to step into our leadership roles.
Yeah. All right. Well, Madeleine and I are signing off for now. We're actually going to be doing a two for today, recording the Aquarius new moon as well. So for those of you who are tuning in now, we'll be back momentarily. And those of you who are watching this later know that we've got the Aquarius new moon forecast coming up. And you can check that out on either one of our YouTube channels. All right. We will see you all soon.
See you. Bye. Give us a like. Give us likes.
Yes, please. And thank you.
Okay. Bye.